I always say if you can start off by saving 25% of your money and start investing that money in your 401. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This is the last week of April, and as many of you know, April is Financial Literacy Month. I want to take this opportunity to do a video for everybody on what I think are the most important tips that you need from financial education. This all started from someone asking me, what is the most important lesson that my parents taught me about money? In some simple words, my parents said, spend less than what I make. My parents did not know much about investments, credit scores, mortgages, anything like that. We didn't really come from money, but fortunately, along the way, I had some really good people that shared a lot of useful knowledge with me and information now that I want to put in this video for you. Honestly, all this information should have been taught to us as we're going through school, going through our early parts of our lives, so that we could get off on a good footing with our financial education. The things that I am going to share with you has nothing to do with college or an MBA in finance. I just call it common sense to money management. My goal for you after this video is to have an idea and have some skills of what you need so that you can get started on your financial journey. And before we get started, I want to just give a quick thank you to our subscribers for supporting this channel. And also, if you're here for the first time, this channel is dedicated to those that are starting early and starting small. And I want to share the knowledge and the power with you so that you can grow this into something really special and very big. If you like this video, do me a favor, leave a comment, share with me your thoughts, your keys of success, and also what you would like to see in the future. Would love it if you can subscribe and also share this video. Now, let's dive into the 5 rules that I have of what I believe are the keys to your financial success, and also the fundamentals that will help you no matter where you are in life with the skills so that you can always pick better stocks, invest in better properties, and in short, just grow that portfolio to financial freedom. We also want to start by asking a question. What is it about money that you want? Is it for building wealth? Is it for financial security? Or is it so that you can just buy more things? Money and wealth means a lot of different things to different people. I'll share with you what money means to me. It just means more options. It just means that I can do more things with my time and that I don't have to worry about the everyday stuff of where I'm going to sleep. Am I going to be hungry? Been there, done that, not interested in doing it again. In my other videos, I share with you my budget. My dog Marvy and I, we can sustain ourselves and live very comfortably on $40,000 a year. I don't mind driving old cars. Most of my cars are 10, 15 years old. And my lifestyle won't change much whether I keep my income, make $250,000, make $1 million or $10 million. Over the course of your life, you're going to have a lot of people give you tons of financial advice. My only tip to you is to make sure that you take what works for you. Now, let's start with number 1. It really is about starting out early so that your money can compound and do its work for you. I always talk about the 7% golden rule. You don't have to be too aggressive. At 7% return, your money will double every 10 years. So as an example, if you start out investing, by the time you're 30, your money would have doubled. And by the time you're 40, that number would have doubled again. And by the time you hit 50, that would have doubled again. And by the time you hit 60, that would have doubled again. Now, for those that are interested, leave your comments below. How many times would your money have compounded? If you guess 16 times, you are correct. in the 40 years that you have invested. And I want to give you a small example of how much you need to invest so that you can have $1 million starting out at age 20 by the time you are 60. All you need to do is set aside $400 a month with a return of 7% interest. And by the time you're 60, you will have a little over $1 million. And I'll tell you something else that's amazing with this compounding of money working for you is that you would have accrued $856,000 just on interest. Many people think that they have to wait until they're in their 30s and 40s to start really investing and saving. Don't wait. The more time you have, the greater time can work for you in terms of compounding that money. Now, let's go into number 2, which is create a budget when you are starting out and even later on in your life. Creating a budget is a habit. It's so that you don't spend money on frivolous stuff that I talked about last time in one of my prior videos. Separate what you really need versus what you want. It goes back to that comment that my parents said to me years ago. Spend less than what you make and avoid spending your money on unnecessary frivolous crap. I always say if you can start off by saving 25% of your income into a 401k plan and have your company match that, you are off to a great start. You can build upon the 25 and increase that to 40 and eventually to 50%. And if you are really aggressive, you can start saving 60% of your income. And that is why you need a budget. Your budget should cover the 5 basic things, which is housing, food, transportation, your medical, and any debts or loans that you have. Speaking of loans and debt, that takes us to number 3. It's about a credit score. You need to establish a credit score so that when you do need to borrow money, all of us at some point in our lives will need to borrow money from a bank or someone else. And then,
how important is the credit score? It is the first and utmost important thing. The first thing we ask, what's your credit? Because everything is based on credit score.
Ensuring that you have a great credit score will mean that your loan application will not be denied. Now, believe it or not, many millionaires know how to leverage and use OPM. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar with OPM, that just means other people's money. They are creating arbitrage because they're borrowing at a lower rate, they're investing and using that money, putting that money to work, and getting a high return back. So, as an example, a lot of commercial properties, a lot of developments are OPM, which means that they are using other people's money. I want to make sure that you know how important a credit score is. I've always had, in the last 10 years, an 840 FICO score or above. Currently, it's sitting at 862. But I want you to know that will help you get a lower rate, such as a crazy housing market right now, or to ensure that you get the best rate possible. So it's very important that you establish credit early. And how do you do that? Start by getting a credit card and pretending that you are using that credit card as cash. Pay it back every month and make sure that you pay your bills on time. That is the most important thing in terms of establishing a great credit score. There will be other factors that go into your credit score, but this is some of the most important things that you can start off with. I have a small story for you, which is that I recently have a friend who's looking to buy in this crazy housing market. He has a 550 credit score, not enough credit history. And the reason is he's been buying everything with cash. He has his down payment, but no bank currently will loan him money because of his low credit score and not enough credit history. Now, the next two, number 4 and 5, are mindset and skills that I want you to establish and start building. Number 4 is about some basic math skills and also your interest and curiosity in reading and acquiring new knowledge. My mother is a math teacher. I have never been good with arithmetic, despite what some people believe, but I do know some basic math that gets me by, and it helps me in terms of understanding how to pick a company and also invest my money. As a general example of Apple stock, what are the basic math skills and tips that you would need in order to understand and break down this company, whether it's a good investment potentially or if it's a bad investment? The questions I want you to ask are the following. Is this company profitable? Is it making products or services that the world needs? When you take a look at this chart, what you see is that if that is the case, where people are buying iPhones, iPads, Macs, all these products, the revenue will increase. Anything that's green is good. Net income minus all operating costs of doing business is green. That's a good sign. Is the company being more efficient and getting better at being profitable? If that's green, that means their net margin is also increasing. Those are all good signs when it comes to looking at a company. I know I'm really distilling down to some of the basics, but things that are red are generally no good. The other thing about mathematics that I think is a good skill to have is understanding the difference between compound interest and simple interest. I can do a separate video on that to break down the difference between compound interest and simple interest. For this video, all you need to know is that if you are investing your money, compound interest helps you greatly because money grows on top of money. Number 5 is something that's very near and dear to my heart, is that when you are young, take some risks. It is a mindset. Not everybody's going to be batting 100%. We will all have investments that won't work out, but we'll also have some investments that will work out really well. And that is why it's so important to have a very diversified portfolio, that you don't put all your money in one thing. As an example, don't put all your money just into, say, commercial real estate. You might want to balance that out into some commercial, into some REITs, into some residential, into some apartments, so that everything that has its ups and downs will always be able to balance itself out. I want to share a personal experience with you about taking more risks. It's something I did not do, and it cost me over $500,000. So I want to give you some perspective why you should take some risks while you're young. When I first came here from California, it was during the tail end of the housing crisis. All around us, homes were going for about $290 to $310 in a specific type of build that I was interested in. This was the 4-bedroom, 3 baths, or the 5-bedroom, 3.5 baths, or pool. They were all going for about $300,000. Now, if I had purchased more of those homes back then, which I had the money to, but I didn't. Now, most of these properties are selling for, on average, about $550,000. Each one of those properties would be profit of $250,000. And for 3 properties, I would have probably had anywhere between $600,000 to $750,000 of profit. The reason I didn't take the risk was I was scared. I didn't know what would happen, even though deep inside I knew that the housing crisis would one day end and people will still need a place to live. You will come upon many opportunities in your life, and I want you to remember stories of success, and I want you to be able to take advantage and seize these opportunities, because by taking advantage of these opportunities, you're going to be able to leverage cash upon cash and build like a little snowball that will just keep going and going. More likely than not, these risks will pay off in the long run. You just have to have some patience. I hope that you can use these 5 basic mindsets and skills so that you can start your path to financial success. Guys, that about wraps up this video about the 5 basic tips of financial literacy and what you can do to start your journey to financial success. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. I always look forward to seeing your comments. If you found this video helpful, please share, comment, and subscribe. And until the next time, I wish you happy hustling towards your dreams. Take care.